In the fast-paced environment of modern corporate management, leaders often look for massive, sweeping structural changes or complex strategic overhauls whenever they want to improve overall team communication and operational alignment. But the most transformative tool for organizational success is actually an incredibly small daily habit. Consistent, highly structured check-ins with your team members consistently build deep trust, driving sustainable long-term performance. This elegant video introduces a remarkably simple communicative discipline that completely reshapes how goals are synchronized. It demonstrates how dedicated daily attention from executives fosters an environment of total clarity and cohesion. By focusing entirely on brief, structured interactions rather than long and exhausting meetings, you establish a reliable operational rhythm. This predictable presence ensures that every professional feels actively supported and aligned. Viewers will discover how these brief, targeted conversations serve as an early warning system. They effectively reveal hidden operational issues and minor personal friction before they can evolve into catastrophic company crises. Real workplace scenarios perfectly demonstrate how implementing this subtle habit drastically improves employee morale. When a manager shows up consistently, internal ambiguity disappears, replaced by an unbreakable sense of psychological safety. The core philosophy of this management methodology strongly emphasizes absolute consistency over structural complexity. Building a world-class culture never requires convoluted frameworks. It simply demands repeated, intentional microactions from the top. Leaders will quickly understand why physical and digital presence is non-negotiable for modern success. Regular touchpoints naturally eliminate the traditional corporate silos that so often paralyze cross-functional productivity and cause severe delays. When you invest just a few minutes every single morning into your people, the strategic returns are compounding. You create a tight-knit ecosystem where feedback flows organically and alignment becomes entirely automatic. Imagine a standard corporate environment where communication only happens during formal, high-stakes quarterly reviews. In those rigid systems, employees naturally hide mistakes, terrified of looking incompetent in front of executive management. Consequently, tiny errors in product development or client management quietly grow completely unnoticed for months. By the time leadership discovers the problem, the financial and structural damage is already severe and costly. Now, contrast that failing model with a highly proactive team practicing regular, brief check-ins. Every single morning, the manager spends 90 seconds with each direct report asking focused questions about daily priorities. During one of these casual interactions, a specialist mentions a minor software glitch or a slight delay in vendor communication. Because the conversation is brief and safe, there is zero anxiety. The leader immediately provides a quick piece of advice or removes a bureaucratic roadblock on the spot. The issue is completely resolved in under 2 minutes, saving the organization weeks of wasted effort. This is the incredible power of micro-leadership in action. It transforms the manager from a distant, reactive judge into an active, helpful facilitator of daily progress and continuous team development. High performers do not want to be micromanaged, but they deeply crave consistent strategic connection. They need to know that their daily output perfectly aligns with the grand overarching vision of the company. Brief daily check-ins bridge this gap perfectly without suffocating your talent. You aren't checking up on their work like an aggressive supervisor. You are actively checking in on their personal well-being. The fundamental mindset shift requires a leader to value frequency far more than duration. A 5-minute conversation held every single day is infinitely more valuable than an exhausting 2-hour meeting once a month. Frequency builds a natural conversational comfort that completely dissolves the traditional, rigid corporate hierarchy. It creates a space where truth travels fast, allowing the entire organization to adapt with incredible agility. To implement this practice professionally, you must establish a clear, repeatable internal structure for your micro meetings. Do not let these sessions devolve into aimless, time-consuming chit-chat about casual weekend plans. Keep the interaction incredibly sharp by focusing on 3 simple core questions. Ask your team what they accomplished yesterday, what they are attacking today, and exactly where they are currently feeling stuck. This simple 3-part framework keeps the conversation strictly professional, highly actionable, and incredibly fast. It trains your people to synthesize their thoughts and present information with total precision and absolute clarity. When a team member reports a major bottleneck, resist the natural parental urge to instantly solve it for them. Instead, ask them what resources they need to clear the path themselves. This subtle linguistic shift entirely promotes autonomy while reinforcing accountability. You are proving that you trust their professional judgment completely while remaining fully available to provide executive support when absolutely necessary. The psychological impact of this daily routine on individual morale is genuinely profound. Employees no longer feel like isolated cogs in a massive corporate machine. They feel seen, heard, and deeply valued. When people know their manager will connect with them tomorrow, engagement skyrockets. They take much deeper personal ownership of their specific metrics, knowing their efforts are actively noticed and appreciated every day. Furthermore, this habit drastically reduces the massive volume of disruptive ad hoc Slack messages and urgent emails. Because everyone knows a dedicated touchpoint happens daily, non-urgent questions are naturally saved for the check-in. This preserves invaluable deep work time for both the leader and the team. It tames the chaotic digital noise that's so frequently fracturing focus and causes severe professional burnout in modern remote workspaces. As a leader, this discipline also keeps you profoundly grounded in the daily operational reality of your business. You no longer manage exclusively from abstract spreadsheets or detached high-level executive summary reports. You develop an acute, intuitive understanding of your team's actual capacity, unique strengths, and hidden vulnerabilities. This real-time data allows you to allocate resources with unprecedented accuracy and strategic foresight. The biggest obstacle to sustaining this habit is the illusion of lacking sufficient time. Managers frequently claim they are simply too busy with urgent executive meetings to conduct daily personal check-ins. However, this is a dangerous classic example of prioritizing the urgent over the truly important. You must recognize that developing your people is your primary, most critical responsibility as a modern leader. The minutes you spend connecting with your team are not a distraction from your real work. They are the exact work that guarantees your organization's collective long-term strategic viability and operational excellence. If you have a large team, deliberately delegate this structured routine down through your mid-level managers. Model the exact behavior you expect them to show to their own direct operational reports. By cascading this simple micro-habit throughout the hierarchy, you systematically build a healthy, transparent corporate culture. You create an organization that communicates seamlessly at every single level without friction. Our vital final takeaway for viewers is that legendary company cultures are never built through grand statements. They are forged entirely through the quiet, relentless repetition of positive, supportive micro-actions every day. So, tomorrow morning, deliberately step away from your cluttered inbox for just 15 minutes. Look at your team roster, select your people, and initiate those quick, structured, highly meaningful personal check-ins. Watch how rapidly the internal energy shifts from disjointed isolation to powerful, unified collaboration. You will quickly realize that consistency is the ultimate secret weapon of the world's most respected executive leaders. In conclusion, turning this simple practice into a daily discipline will completely revolutionize your management style. It requires minimal time investment, but yields monumental returns in team cohesion, trust, and overall operational velocity. Your ultimate takeaway, Padre, is that exceptional leadership is defined by consistent, meaningful presence. By showing up intentionally for your people every day, you turn a divided group into an unstoppable force. Commit to this daily ritual of micro-connections starting right now. Trade organizational complexity for radical consistency and watch your team thrive under the quiet strength of your supportive, predictable, and empowering leadership.